Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this one is about how to use a delay pedal and also rack mount delays in mixing. First, the signal chain. This is my ESP M1 Custom from the 80s with a single EMG 81 pickup. Then it goes to the pedal board, and what I have there now on is a clone of Tube Screamer, my 808 Screamer. After that it's 4-inch Zool, just to get rid of the small hiss. Then it goes into 5152, and then via Fryet's power station, where I'm attenuating it a bit, it goes to my Marshall vintage cabinet. And now I'm miking one of the vintage speaker, like V30s, with two SM57s in the Fredman style. Then they are summed together with radios 2-to-1 summing mixer. I get one signal here, it goes to my Universal Audio's Apollo X8 audio interface and into one of the Unison mic pre's where I have API mic pre, and then into Logic. And there's, I think two ways to use delay in a live situation: in the amplifier's effect loop and in front. It will give you different kind of delay tones, and the delay behaves, and the amp behaves completely differently, whether the delay is in the loop or in front of the amp when an amp gets a delayed signal. And then in a mixing recording situation where you, or at least 99.9% or probably 100% of the mixing engineers I know, including myself, want to record a dry signal and then add delays when mixing with separate effect tracks, so you can automate the delays, blend them in more or less depending what you want. So we're gonna go through these three ways of using a delay. First, let's go through it when it's in the amplifier's effect loop. I have a simple old Bus DD3 delay in there, set to about, I think, 400 milliseconds. The settings are there, and the level probably like 3 o'clock or something. So let's see how that sounds in the effect loop. So first, there's nothing, then I'll kick in the delay and you hear. So by having a delay in the effect loop, you're creating this kind of like space. Just make it larger, and this is what many players use, when they playing leads, and it's a very good way of adding just depth and size to the sound without the delay being apparent, because now you heard it when it's soloed, but when this is in a band context, all those trails kind of disappear. So your lead tone, or whatever tone you like, maybe it's a rhythm tone. Some people prefer using delay on rhythms. I've always been a bone dry guy, like even on leads when playing live, because I just like the punchiness it gives me, and then I leave the delays or whatever post effects to mixing engineer. But yeah, that's that in the loop. And like any effect, they are more subtle in the loop because the amplifier isn't now getting those effects in its preamp section, but they are post preamp, because effect loop, as you probably know, is between the amplifier's preamp and power amp section. So let's engage the level to the max. I have it here behind in the loop. So now the level of the delay is maxed, and now you hear the effect a bit more better. So first without. So now you can kind of use this as a rhythm device, kind of the edge style, but having it in the loop, it's not the best for that, but we're gonna get into that soon, you know, when it's in front. And this way you can also create these kind of really play that because I cut my finger. It's still, I really hardly can use it, the index finger. So you can create these volume kind of swells, and they sound more natural when you have a delay on. Because when you need to do this volume thing fast, and the delay helps smoothen out. Because without the delay, these would be just like. But with the delay. It's a very cool use of that. So that's how delay sounds in the loop. Quite subtle in the behind, just creating space. Now I will switch the delay in front of the amp. Now the delay is in front of the amp, and you must always place it after your noise gate, noise suppressor, if you like to use noise suppressor in front of the amp after the pedals, mainly overdrive pedals, like I do, because otherwise the noise gate will just cut off, because it closes the signal when you're not playing, so you won't hear the delay repeat. So now the delay is after my 14 Zool noise gate, so it's the last pedal and the first, to hit the amplifier. So it's just before the amp, and now the settings are what I just had in the loop. So the level is maxed, the feedback is around 11 o'clock, and the delay is set to 800 milliseconds, and it's around 2 o'clock, so it's probably somewhere around 500 milliseconds. The same settings I had when it was in the loop. It sounds like this in front. So the delay is louder than the actual signal, and now the delay is very prominent because it's in front of the amp. So the amplifier gets a delayed signal and amplifies that, the preamplifier mainly. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put the level to 0 and then blend that in according to taste. Now it's 0, so there's no delay. Now it's around 8 o'clock. And now what we hear. The sound is not anymore there in the background creating space, but it's really creating just a delay effect. And this is what would you use for these types of riffs. And then you can play with the tempo. A little bit faster for that riff. It's increase the level a bit. Now it's 9 o'clock. You can put it to unison, so noon. So with the delay in front, you can create rhythmical and based on your riffs of that delay. But now this is like 8 o'clock. This is how I have a delay on my board. Now this is a digital delay. Analog delay is a bit smoother in general, and to me it works a bit better in front. Now, I don't have an analog delay on my live board. It's a Boss DD7, but there's an analog mode which emulates analog delay, so the delays are not so sharp and they darken, you know, in every step, because digital delay stays very, you know, same. I really like digital delays in mixing, but also analog delays, different flavor. But in front of the amp, you know, like Zakk Wylde, he has the MXR, the green one. It's just a little bit smoother in front of the amp for, you know. But what I use this live like this, like I said, I like to usually play bone dry. So I leave the delays, the space creating delays, to our front of house mixing engineer. And 99.9% in my experience for over 30 years, mixing engineers loves that you give them one good sound and then they can actually mix that. Like I'm mixing records, sometimes I've got like lead guitar that has delay, and it's always like, okay, yeah, it probably sounded great when they were recording, but usually it's always either too quiet or too high for the mix, because I'm mixing. So then I'm always like, yeah, the lead is great, please send it to me without any post effects. I like to do them on my own, and then I like to, you know, automate them. When there's, you know, faster passages, I might turn down the delay. When there's, you know, big bends, I might increase the delay. But if the delay signal is baked into the sound, there's nothing you can do about it. So that's why live situation, I'm bone dry, and I use the delay just basically maybe song endings, like, you know, just to have it little echo in there when the song ends. But not that. There's been shows where I haven't stepped on the delay once, and because the mixing engineer, you know, does that. But you can create these smaller spaces when the delay is in front. Cool. Then let me show you my latest single, Testify, featuring Samy Elbanna. What delays I use and how I use them in the context of a mix. Alright, so this is the song Testify featuring Samy Elbanna. Let's listen from the chorus and to the lead, then I'll solo the lead and I'll bypass the delay send and then show you with the throw delay, because there's two delays going on, or two delays going on in the end.
Come on and testify, now to the lights out for me, so you can see what I'm telling. It's time to look alive. Come on and testify.
like that, and that last that was with the rhythm guitar, so it was doubled, and there was no delay. I just automated a little bit of H3000 harmonizer. You heard with and without the delay. Without the delay, the solo was really kind of narrow in the center, even though I had a bit of harmonizer going on. And then when I added the delay, it's a Lexicon PCN70 and pan delay setting. It's just made the solo wider, and the delay is kind of randomly panned there. Just creates this space for the lead. And then to the end, I added another delay, throw delay. You heard a it just came even louder. Let me show you for once more. Because without that throw delay, just like that. With it, so it's automated. So recap. In a live situation, if you want to create this kind of a big space landscape for your lead sound or whatever sound, use the delay in the effect loop. If you want to create a more rhythmic, more pronounced delay effect, like if a riff is based on those delay repeats, then in the front, and in that case, you should also record that, because the mixing engineer don't really necessarily know what you were after, and like you heard, the delay sounds different if it's in the loop or like added in the mix on a separate effect track. So the lead on itself was mono, and I'm sending it to the stereo effect track, which makes it wide. But if you have a riff idea that it's based on a delay, then you should definitely record that. And usually delay works better in front. If you want a bit more subtle effect in your riff, then in the loop. But if you just want that, okay, this is the lead, but I want on the album, on the song, I want just to have this, then record it dry and let the mixing engineer do its job. And the way I always record dry, unless what I just said, if I have a specific riff, can't remember if I've ever written one that it's based on a delay repeats, but I always record dry. I might monitor myself with a delay, usually not, because I like to play dry, I hear everything better. And then I just add this space, or a mixing engineer, whoever that is, will add this space that works best in the mix, like these automations. You can't record that yourself, because then, you know, these decisions will take up during the mixing process. Hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Until next time, take care. Bye.